issue, I don't know which county, where they got some medicine in kind without cost. And then we said, going forward, it is important that they also request the people who are giving the donations to give the actual cost so that it is recognized in books. Otherwise, you can, if you're given a vehicle, you cannot just say it's a motor vehicle without the value. So, it means you'll be understating your assets. So that's not see a reason to say it was free. There's nothing for free. It has a cost. So when they give you, it is important. As an executive, you are the minister in the county. You cannot be a minister and you are not helping your boss. There are things that should not arrive in Senate as an audit query. By the time even the auditors are coming there for the first entry meeting, there are things that they tell you can write, and then they can give you these things, so that by the time they are there, or even before they exit, you have some answers. Chair, most of these things is surrounding late submissions of documents. It's only that we are not saying. It means by the time the auditors are exiting, they have not been given documents. And then when they are invited to come to Senate, these documents find their way to the auditors and to ourselves. These are things that we need to highlight properly, Chair. Otherwise, people are not taking their job serious. We are taking our job serious as senators, but the county executives, especially the citizen chief officers, are not helping, and the accountants are not helping the governors. The governors should be spending valuable time helping the people outside there.
Chair, on that issue, I concur with Senator Kisang. In fact, it should have been recorded as market value, but then so far it was left out, just because it was given for free.
Yeah, you see now, even if you are given, if someone gives you a vehicle for free as a donation, it is your property. And if you are accounting for that, you will say, I have a car worth this much. You cannot say that, because it was a donation, then you don't recognize it in your book. You have to recognize it in your books.
Chairman agreed.
Yeah.
Because that's why there is what we call evaluation of the asset. When you get a new asset, you revalue it, or you value it to have your book value. We are well guided.
Yeah, but you see, we are discovering a lot of issues about your officers, Governor. I think they are not taking their work seriously, particularly the chief officers. The law under PFM 184 actually tasks the CECs and the chief officers to continuously monitor the financial performance and the reporting of the entities under them, like the chief officer for health, the chief officer for the other entities like water or even municipalities. They need to take keen interest in financial reporting of those entities and report to the cabinet. Because when you just hear that you are coming to Senate and then you put documents together, or when you hear that the auditors are coming, then you quickly put documents, that's not the way to go. Some of these queries could be avoided if you did your work in a competent manner. Mark?
Yes, Chair. I just wanted to add on the fact that the Public Audit Act, the audit process in Section 31, accords the county opportunities to respond to these queries. That's one at the exit meeting, during the ML. We even give them another opportunity when you give them the draft report, showing that this is how the report will be. Please provide this information so that we can address this issue. So if Chair would recommend, if they're able to be keen on those, then I think some of the inaccuracies we are noting here would not be in this office, in this committee at this time. Thank you, Chair.
Yes, Governor, maybe I want you to buildings for all the hospitals you have said that there is a gazette notice which is very faint, I can't see. Have you now gotten possession of those lands and buildings?
There are some lands like Esani, I think it's conjoined with the primary school, and we are doing something to separate it from the main primary school. I think the minister can give more details.
Thanks, Chair. For Nyamira, we've already even done valuation for the land. Now we've got a valuer's report that we'll now be able to disclose in this year's financial statements. For Manga, our land is held, it's conjoined with the national government, that's the District County Commissioner's office, and we're also in the process of doing the separation so that the hospital can have its land. Same to Esani. For Masaba, our land is distinct, and that I think we're also doing valuation so that we can be able to declare. But that gazette notice came in August of 2025, so it squarely falls in this financial year, and we'll be able to disclose those lands and buildings within this financial year.
You know, you said the same thing last year.
Last year, you are.
What are the timelines? Because this query, if you don't address it, if you don't get the titles, again it will appear next financial year. So what are the timelines?
By end of June, we shall be having the documents.
When?
Because by end of June this year, we will be having the documents.
You are unanswered. So
yes, Chairman.
If that is not done, we will remind you. You told us that by end of June, because the financial statements are supposed to be submitted to the auditor in September.
Yes.
So if by September it's not done, it will become a query again.
And I will take responsibility for that, Chairman. I assure.
Okay, honorable members, and that affects all the other hospitals. It's not just Nyamira, the others also have this issue of ownership of assets. Let's proceed to the query or SHA issues. The clerk, you can guide which county to consider. Masaba Hospital. Which query is that? There is a query on non-remittance of SHA under Masaba Hospital. Auditor, proceed with the query.
That is query number 7 under compliance and non-remittance of SHA. The statement of financial performance and note 10 to the financial statement reflect the employee cost amount of Kenya shillings 4,442,600. The fuel payment detail revealed that the hospital failed to remit NHIF, that is SHA, for 10 months, totaling to Kenya shillings 115,704. This is contrary to Section 48, subsection 1 of Social Insurance Act 2023, which states that any person who fails to, without lawful reason, to pay social health insurance fund within the period prescribed by the Act, any contribution he or she is liable as a contributing employer to pay under the Act commits an offense. In the circumstance, the management was in breach of the law.
I think that is not the, there's a bit of confusion. That query should actually come under non-remittance of statutory deductions. So that is to do with what we wanted was a query that talks about SHA. Nyamira Hospital under budgetary control and performance.
That is that under budgetary control and performance, the hospital expended Kenya shillings 273,280,527 against the receipts of Kenya shillings 304,072,735, resulting to under absorption of Kenya shillings 30,792,000 or 10% of the total receipt. The under absorption affected implementation of planned activities and programs and may have impacted negatively on service delivery to the public.
Governor, your response?
The management clarifies that the reported and expenditure resulted from delayed reimbursements from the Social Health Authority, SHA, which were received towards the close of the financial year, thus could not be expended, hence captured as a balance brought forward in financial year 2025-2026. And we've annexed the Nyamira County Referral Hospital Revenue Account Bank Statement for June 2025, the Nyamira County Hospital Referral Bank Reconciliation as at 30th June 2025, and the authority to incur expenditure for first quarter 2025-2026.
Auditor, your comments. I see you had indicated that this query is addressed, but what is your comments?
Yes, Chair, as you say, as you rightfully comment, we've let's check the annexure, which shows when the funds were received.
So this particular problem is in all the hospitals and is affecting the budgeting of these hospitals because of the delayed remittance of SHA. So Governor, I'm sure you have figures with you. You need to state to this committee the positions in this hospital. What is the outstanding reimbursement for each of the hospitals? And you can also tell us what is the total amount of rejections for these hospitals and what are you doing about it? Will give us the figures for each hospitals in terms of SHA request, SHA reimbursements and SHA rejections.
Chairman, the minister can give a breakdown.
Chairman, for Nyamira, we've so far done total claims of 951,885,993. And so far SHA has paid us since its inception 484,499,941. So they owe us 467,386,052. Of that, they rejected 158,736,698 of our claims. So meaning what is outstanding is 308,649,354 for our hospitals.
For the other hospitals?
That's for all the hospitals. So you can go now to each individual hospital what is remaining.
So maybe you need to table that report before the committee.
I will be able to print it then table. Maybe I can be able to give it to the committee clerk if you allow.
So
once we finish.
Fine, you can send it to the committee clerk. We need that information. But just for clarification, you said how much is outstanding, total outstanding?
It's 306. Just a minute, I get 308, 649, 354.
Do you have any arrears for NHIF?
Yes, we do, but
how much?
That I think we'll have to check. Maybe the hospitals are here, they can each be able to say what they are owed, particularly Nyamira, which was owed quite a lot by NHIF.
Chair, before we go to NHIF, Chair, before they speak about NHIF, on the SHA, on the amounts you have mentioned for SHA, you made a claim, then SHA rejected some claims of 150 something million.
158 million.
Yeah. What were the reasons for the rejections? Were they fake claims? So who is, in this case, between you and SHA, who is not stating things the way they should be? Because if you make a claim of 150 billion and it's rejected, really there must be some serious concerns.
Chairman, I think it's a very serious issue because you have spent 158 on patients and it's being rejected. One reason is that in the mid-term, SHA introduced a requirement that there must be a prescription attached. And this was done after we have already treated people and they have left. So it becomes very difficult to start attaching a prescription of whose patients have already gone. So that's an issue I think which should be addressed, because it will be very, very unfair as partners, because through us, they are partnering with us to treat us that way.
Maybe, Chair, in addition to what His Excellency has said, the rejections, Honorable Senator, most of them actually came in July and August of 2025. And that's when SHA introduced the new conditions in the way you claim. Because previously we were doing in the system, you send a claim with the attachments that were required and they used to pay. So in August and July last year, a new condition was introduced where attach patient notes, attach doctor's notes, attach this. Then they retrospectively applied that. So most of the claims got rejected around that time. To an hospital like Masaba was a level 4 hospital. Midway, and you'll hear most of those hospitals midway, the system decided to downgrade Masaba to a level 3. But Masaba continued providing service as a level 4. So they are claiming as level 4, you downgraded, then you claim now whatever service they provided at that time becomes a rejected claim. So services were provided, and then we don't have now a mechanism, because you only see in the system rejected claims. So where to go to appeal, we do not have.
Yeah, that's an interesting scenario, I think, which we may need to know how globally, I mean in total, how does it get addressed? There must be a solution. Yeah.
NHIF, defunct NHIF arrears. Can we have the total figure?
Chair, what I can be able to to give you is for Nyamira referral was 33 million.
Total figure?
Chair, what I can be able to give you is for Nyamira referral was 33 analysis of staffing level.
The county government has progressively increased the number, quality and skills of health workers since devolution. In July 2023, 125 health workers were employed, that is county-wide, with 40 deployed to Nyamira County Hospital. For the 2025-2026, 150 health workers will be employed, with the majority deployed to the hospital, reflecting commitment to strengthening the capacity for universal health coverage. That is as per the budget provided. Then the county government has sponsored healthcare workers for advanced training to increase specialists at the hospital. Investment in specialized medical equipment has been ongoing. In 2025-2026, government advertised for additional equipment to address the gaps noted by the audit. Thank you, Chair.
Yes, you know, sometimes when your query gives us a table, it is very easy to follow. That table that you shows what the standards require, and what is there, and what is the deficit. Because this one is a bit very confusing for the members to follow. But since you had indicated that the query has been addressed, but from the responses I can see there are promises. It's not done yet. They are promising to employ healthcare workers, but it's not yet done. They are promising to provide equipment, but it's not yet done.
Chair, I agree. That's what I'm consulting with my colleague here. Is the issue of providing budget to actualize in the coming financial year. I agree it's not done. So we shall verify during this year's audit. Thank you.
But Chair, it also concern because the promises are non-committal and they may come back with claims of budgetary constraints. So what specific timelines can be put on how to increase the number of staff and also the equipment?
On the same issue, Auditor, because we had indicated that this issue is addressed, how is it addressed on your end and all these issues are not clear? Like I'm looking for the same query in Masaba. I would have expected a commitment to see a budget that this is happening. I'm looking at what is attached for Masaba. There is nothing. So I don't know how you determined this issue to be addressed.
Chair, honorable committee members, from our end, the reason why we considered it as addressed, number one is that in July 2023, the county government employed 125 health workers, and 40 of them were deployed in Nyamira County. Again, we have confirmed from the budget added 5 intensive units, that is the ICU bed, and 5 advanced life support machine. So in our maybe observation is that bearing in mind the budgetary issue, that they are making effort, though they are not yet there.
So Auditor, because initially you are the one who raised this issue, that they are non-compliant. Now you have said the issue is addressed. Can we then say Nyamira County will become the first county in the Republic of Kenya to be compliant on this issue of universal health care? Because you said it's addressed.
Honorable member, not yet.
Then the issue is not addressed.
Yes. Thank you.
See, maybe, Governor, you need to give us clear timelines. Because these are promises, but there are no timelines when those promises will be realized.
Chairman, we have the money in the budget, but most of this financial year we have not had the board to advertise and employ. We expect the board to be in place by mid-March, and we believe if they advertise then, by 15th of June, we'll be having already selected people who will be starting working around July. Those are the timelines.
You know, what we have here is, you have given us just what you have given us, Governor. It's just requisitions of the number of staff that you want to engage. But I wish you could have provided us a budget so that we know that indeed these people are going to be engaged. Because this is just promises.
There is a budget which can be provided.
Yes, you can provide the budget.
No.
Not just for the staff, but even the equipment.
We have the budget.
Mark?
Yeah, Chair, maybe you asked a question on timelines. The auditors will be doing their in-year audits where they verify all this in June. So if they are done this by June, then we'll be able to verify and report in 25-26.
Yeah, Senator Mbugu?
Maybe, Chair, what the governor has said, maybe he's given the reason for all the problems we are having in these hospitals, that the boards are not there. The auditor did not raise that one as an issue, but we all know what has been happening in the Nyamira County Assembly. So probably the boards were not approved. But Mark, I want you to comment on this. Maybe because when the auditors come here, they come in, the reporting should be uniform. That issue should be addressed by the auditors. Because now we can see why the problems are struggling. I mean, the hospitals are struggling. The boards are not there to make very critical decisions. I don't know why the auditors did not pick that. And the governor has said that the boards are not in place.
Public Service Board, I meant Public Service Board, not the hospital boards.
It's clear.
Hospital boards, you have them?
Yes.
They are gazetted and operational?
Yes.
I hope the MCAs will give you the Public Service Board in time. Because if they don't, this problem will continue being there until next audit cycle.
The selection panel has already been approved by the Assembly. So last week, so we believe by mid-March, most of these interviews will be going on.
Okay, so this one will keep an eye on it. In fact, in our implementation sessions, which we are going to begin in April, we will keep an eye on such things which ought to be implemented. The next query, honorable members, is a matter to do with the irregular transfer of facility improvement funds. Clerk, you can guide me on which query to be read out. Let's read out Isani, because this query is in all the reports.
Thank you, Chair. That is unroof transfer of funds. The statement of financial performance reflects Kenya shillings 158,472 relating to transfer to other government entities being transferred to sub-county Ministry of Health and County Health Management Team of Kenya shillings 31,693 and Kenya shillings 126,779 respectively, as disclosed in Note 15 to the financial statements. However, transfers were in contravention of Section 5, Subsection 1 of Facility Improvement Act number 14 of 2023, which requires Level 1 to Level 5 hospitals to retain all monies raised. In the circumstances, management was in breach of the law.
That one seems to be having very low amounts. Maybe I would like that to also Nyamira to be read. Nyamira, the query.
Irregular transfer of facility improvement funds. The statement of financial performance and Note 13 to the financial statement reflect transfer to facility improvement funds to other county government entities of Kenya shillings 2,985,000. The transfers were made to sub-county Ministry of Health and County Health Management Team for Kenya shillings 597,000 and Kenya shillings 2,388,000 respectively, in contravention of Section 5, Subsection 1 of Facility Improvement Act number 14 of 2023, which requires Level 1 to Level 5 facilities to retain all monies raised. In the circumstances, management was in breach of law and the facility may have been deprived of critical resources necessary for operation and service delivery.
Proceed and read the response on Nyamira.
Management takes note of the auditor's observations on the transfers to sub-county health management team and county health management team. However, the hospital management wishes to clarify that the transfers were done in conformity with the Nyamira County Facility Improvement Fund Act 2022, Section 6, which provided for transfer of 12% of FIF funds to sub-county health management team and 3% to county health management team to fund primary health care activities. Management also notes that in 2023, the National Facility Improvement Financing Act 2023 provided for FIF funds to fund primary health services, in addition to providing for roles of county health management teams and sub-county health management teams. Further, the Act provided for retention of resources in the collecting facilities. In conformity to the new law, in January 2025, the county government stopped transfer of resources from the collecting facilities as per attached correspondence. In August 2025, the Nyamira County Facility Improvement Financing Act 2025 was enacted to align the county health financing legal framework with the national law and repealing the Nyamira Facility Improvement Fund Act 2022. We've annexed the Nyamira County Facility Improvement Fund Act 2022. We've annexed also the circular for stoppage of transfer of money to health management teams. And number 3, the Nyamira County Facility Improvement Financing Act 2025.
Auditor, your comment on
Chairman, further information. We started the FIF before the national law came into place.
Auditor, your comments on the response?
Yeah, Honorable Chair, committee members, we have indicated that the issue is addressed on the strength that we got the stoppage letter, and we have confirmed that from January, that is, they have not actually transferred any more money. That's why we have indicated that the issue is addressed. However, we raised the issue on the 6th month, whereby they had transferred that amount indicated in the query of 2 million. Thank you.
Mark, your comments?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. It's important to note that the FIF Act commenced on the 2nd of November 2023. So within that date, there should not have been any transfer from the FIF. And maybe secondly, Chair, the committee may want to decide whether it will be necessary for the committee now, the committee to recommend that the county transfers back what they had taken back to the respective hospitals, because the amounts are known and they're well clear. Thank you, Chair. Just so that we can address this issue.
Maybe, Chair, taking up from where Mark has left it, because you operate as the Office of the Auditor General, you are putting this committee in a very awkward position. First of all, you have told us that the issue is addressed. Now, you want the committee to make a decision on whether this money should be wired back or not. But maybe the auditor should clarify. Because you've said that the issue is addressed, do you still maintain that the transfer was irregular?
Thank you. Yes, as per the Act, 2023 Act, it was irregular. As we audited 2024-2025, the Act was still in place, so the transfer should not have taken place. So what my colleague was alluding to, going forward, they are not continuing with the irregularity. But what we raised there then stands. Thank you.
But you see, we are here looking at the reports of the past year, not going forward. Whatever will come next year, you'll still bring a report to us. So on this one, I think, Auditor, you need to say that the issue was not addressed. Because I would have expected, if it was addressed, money was wired back. Secondly, because you say whatever I'm looking at the documents which they are saying they have attached, Annex 12, what I have, maybe, I don't know, Crack gave me the right one. The only thing I can see is a letter from NSSF, not these documents which here they have said they have attached. And these are the ones which maybe would have cleared this issue. I don't know what is in your file. Annex 12, I'm just getting a letter from NSSF. Whatever documents the CEC has read, they are not in my booklet.
Honorable Chair, there is another Annex 12-2, written 34, after the one that you have referred to, Honorable Member.
I'm following what he has said. Now you are giving me another one. Because he referred us to Annex 12. And you see, we follow things as they are being presented. How would the committee members know that there was another one?
Chair, to clarify.
Yeah, the one that I'm referring to is written as stoppage of 12% and that 3% transferred to sub-county HMT and county HMT respectively. Dated 7th January 2025.
Okay, I've seen it, I've been directed. So maybe the CEC should have directed us to Annex 33, not 12.
You see, there are two issues here. There is a refund of the money, and there is also the alignment of the county legislation to Facility Improvement Fund Act, because the county, the national legislation is more superior to the county legislation. So you have to comply to the national legislation, which is FIF Act. So I don't know, Governor, you need to tell us what are you doing to align your county act to FIF?
It has already been aligned, Chairman.
Have you provided the evidence to us?
Yes, because ours we started much earlier before the national legislation, and I think it has already been amended to align itself to the national legislation.
It's just a bill. Has it been processed by the county assembly?
Yes.
So you have an act?
Page 35. There is a gazette notice. Number 12.3.
Okay, so this gazette note, this act complies fully to FIF?
Yes, Chairman.
Now, when are you sweeping back the money that you had taken from this FIF?
Chairman, maybe to ask also and maybe get guidance also. The money was transferred and used by the sub-county health management team and the county health management team. If you check the National Facility Improvement Financing Act, Section 10 and Section 12, provide for those two teams in terms of management of facility improvement financing. Now, that money was utilized within the health department. It did not go anywhere, it didn't go to another department, it just remained within health, but by management teams that actually have a role in management of these resources. So who is going to refund this money? Because it's used within health.
Auditor, I want you to comment on that.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Section 5 of the FIF Act is very clear that all funds collected in a facility shall be retained in that facility. I think that is very clear. It's not ambiguous in any way. So what we're saying, Chair, is that this act came into commencement on the 2nd of November 2023. The amounts which were transferred from the hospital are known. So we are saying that they should have been retained, and therefore those amounts then should be returned back to the hospital to finance the activities of the hospital. Thank you, Chair.
So, Waziri, I hope you understand that.
Chair, the same law provides for the two, and also the same Section 5, while it provides for retention, also provides for funding of primary health care services as part of the functions for FIF. So, does it, if one hand of the same person is spending the left and the right, that's still within the retained monies? It's only that it's the account that was a little bit different.
Our legal officer, what is your comment?
Thank you, Chair. It's as the auditor has read that is Section 5 of the Retention of Public Health Facilities Improvement Financing, where all monies that are raised or received by on behalf of the public officers are to be of the public health facilities to be retained. And then the county, the chief TCM has referred to Section 11 of the same act that is on the functions of the county health management team. And through you, Chair, unless now, because when you look at this law, it does not provide for financing of this team from this from the collections of the public health facilities. So maybe the auditors can guide on the way forward through you, Chair.
Mark?
Yeah, Chair, I think what the legal has said is actually true, because Section 5 reads that there shall be retention of all monies raised or received by or on behalf of all public health facilities. So, Chair, in our expectation was that in full implementation of the FIF Act, the hospital ought to have collected all this money and retained it for its operations. And the idea was to ring-fence these funds for the hospital activities. So, Chair, that's our contention, that these amounts were transferred irregularly from the FIF, and with effect from 2nd November, that ought not to have happened, and that's the reason why the query was raised. We appreciate that going forward from June.
You should be saying, pick the question and let the officer respond.
Thank you, Chair.
Because you are handing over your governor authority to someone unknown to the committee. So
Thank you for the guidance.
Yes.
Allow me to give the minister to give us a breakdown of an outstanding as per today.
That is the proper way of doing it. So, Waziri.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Your Excellency. Chair, yes, we were not remitting, particularly for Nyamira and the other hospitals, the NITA, the housing levy, the SHA contributions, because for NITA and housing levy, initially we did not have clear guidelines on how to remit for people who are earning the minimum wage, who are actually not paying pay. So if you remember last financial year when we came here for Nyamira, we had done a letter asking to KRA, requesting for guidelines on how we can be able now to remit housing levy and NITA. and the rest that are collected by KRA. And KRA told us that the hospital needed to get its own PIN, and then the hospital be registered as a tax agent, which Nyamira has so far done. Nyamira got its PIN, and then they also became a tax agent. And once they became a tax agent, they started remitting. So the other sister hospitals, the lower, the sub-county hospitals, Masaba, Isani, and Manga, are in the process of doing the same, so that they get their PINs, they get they become tax agents, and they start remitting. The alternative was that we remit through the county, which again could have gotten us into where we were, transfer funds and going against the FIF law. So we are working so that by the time the auditors come in June again, all these hospitals will have started remitting where they've not. You'll realize that even Masaba, that was not remitting SHA, is now remitting in our response, and we've even provided the e-slips for SHA. For SHA particularly, was that each hospital had to become an employer and get registered as an employer, and once it gets registered as an employer, then it also starts remitting. And we are working on that so as to ensure each and every of our facilities that has casual employees is able to do that. However, we need to note that most of these, in terms of pay, because most of these employees are earning below, I think, 25,000. So if you're earning below 25,000, you don't pay tax. So we're not remitting taxes for most of these people who are earning below the 25,000 limit for payment of pay.
These casuals that you are referring to, do you have contracts with them?
Yes. Because we do 3 months, then another 3 months.
So those are contract workers, they are not casuals. You know, casuals is supposed to be someone working within 24 hours and who is paid on daily basis. But if it goes beyond that, then those are temporary contract workers.
Well guided, yeah. That's the right term.
Auditor, what is your comments on the response on non-remittance of statutory deduction?
Yes, Chair. It's true. We noted that they were not being remitted, and to do with pay, what I've confirmed from my colleague, what we picked relates to officers who are earning above the threshold of above the 24,000 amount. Yeah.
So, Senator Buku.
Thank you, Chair. Governor, let me refer you to the deductions for this pay NHIF for Nyamira. The response there says that the reason for that is that there was a payroll system error which omitted 9 people. That is from Nyamira. I think that is a very serious issue. If it can omit 9, then it means it can also pay somebody double the salary. So you must admit that the system is defective and should be replaced because it is very serious. Just omit, it decided to omit 9 people. How sure are you that this system cannot do other crazy things?
Proceed.
Chair, I think the minister should explain this.
Thanks, Chair. It all omitted the 9, and so far we've not realized that it has omitted anybody else or it has paid somebody anything more. And we've already so far corrected because we wrote to the employees and informed them that we've noted also that your pay was not deducted, and we've so far deducted from their pay for this financial year and recovered the money.
Whatever annex you are saying that there is that letter and the payroll, again in annex 9, it is not there unless it is somewhere else. I don't know who was doing the serialization.
If you check, Honorable Senator, there is
I'm checking on where it is written, Annexer 9, so I don't know of any other annexer.
the serialization is on terms of numbers. That's like pages, page 1, 2, 3. But it's Annexer 9 is in page 27. The one that is written 27.
So you are also admitting the serialization was wrong?
We are sorry for that. I think we'll be able to correct that.
Chair.
Senator Rubiko.
Chair, whereas the issue raised by Senator Mbugua is very serious, I realize a difference in the responses from the governor's team, because when the CC says what is written as read by Senator Mbugua is a system issue, but what he has responded is the issue of casual sewer and under the threshold 25,000 and below. But what the auditor has said is that what they are raising is for people who are earning above the 25. So can now the governor's team respond to that?
Proceed.
Yes, yeah. You can proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Senator. For the ones earning below 9 or below the wage bill, it was on housing levy and NITA. On payee, yes, the 9 were omitted because the 9 were in the referral hospital. If you check the other hospitals, they are querying NITA, housing levy. Payee specifically at the referral hospital for the 9. And the 9 are the ones that the payroll system omitted them, and we wrote to them, and we've recovered the money that we do not remit for payee.
For how long did the system omit these 9 people? And is it the auditors talking about the 9 only?
Yes, Honorable Senator, they're talking about the 9, and it's in August, September, and October. If you check the failure to make and remit deductions, it's payroll records for August, September, and October, and the entity paid gross wages of 272,000. So it's specifically for the nine casual employees.
Chair, so we are going to, will we be right to conclude that it is there was a system problem, but only for 2 months? Otherwise, for the rest of the time, they have been contributing their statutory contributions. Auditor, you can help us.
Thank you, Chair and honorable members. The review that we did is for 3 months, that is August, September, and October 2024, where the entity paid a gross wage of 272,020 to casual employee without making statutory deduction, that is a payee, NHIF, NSSF for 9 casual employees.
So, officer, what is the way forward through the governor? How do you intend to fully resolve these queries on non-remittance of statutory deductions?
I think, Chairman, other than maybe Shah, I think all of them are updated. Waziri.
Chairman, as we've committed for Nyamira, it's already done. The referral hospital, which is having the highest amount. For Karoka, Manga, and Esani, we are working, and once the auditors come in June to verify, they'll find that we will have started paying for everyone, and we will have conformed with the law.
So I'm directing the auditors to follow up on this matter when you'll be doing your midterm review and report to this committee. And I just want to state that non-remittance of statutory deduction is an offense. So maybe next time this is reported to us, we will apply the law. So the officers who are supposed to ensure that remittance deductions are paid, please ensure that is done. Okay, so I think that brings us to the end of this examination of these reports. And maybe I just allow the governor to make final comments and then we can adjourn.
Thank you, Chairman and honorable committee members and officers from various government units. I think it's a running process. We have seen things like it's an issue which one of you raised and said during audit the documents are not available. But when we come to the Senate, they are availed. I can promise you, Chairman, that thing will never happen again. We look forward for better responses.
For it not to happen again, you need to make some heads to roll.
Before we come.
Yeah.
Yes. And for information, non-taxable income starts at 25, isn't it? And below. But in India it's 40,000 rupees, which is Kenya shillings 60,000. So this is only for your information so that you make the small man a bit comfortable. Because you are the lawmakers. And solicited advice. Thank you.
So, honorable members, Governor, I want to thank you for coming. The Speaker had written a letter to Council of Governors saying that he has accepted to have a meeting with the Council of Governors on 26th of this month. But before then, counties should comply with the Constitution, which requires them to appear before us. I've seen a number of your colleagues have been writing letters saying that they are not coming until that meeting. I think that's not acceptable, and that is a demonstration of bad faith. But I want to thank you that you have decided to come. That is a good gesture. For the others who didn't show up, the committee will be meeting on Wednesday to make a decision on how to proceed. Otherwise, thank you very much, and safe journey back to Nyamira. And I also want to thank you that these reports for hospitals did not have many issues than the other entities that we have dealt with. I think your CEC for Health is trying to do his level best. Even the way he has been answering questions, he seems to be in touch, except the issue of financial statements having inaccuracies, which we have said we will not entertain it next time it comes before us. So thank you very much, and I wish you well as you travel to Nyamira. The meeting is adjourned.